So today we're going to be doing an on-page audit and an off-page audit of the best alkaline water machines.com. And the keywords that the site is trying to rank for are best alkaline water, benefits of alkaline water, water analyzer reviews, and where can I buy alkaline water. So it looks like this is more or less an information site, and he's just put some affiliate links. So this is an Amazon affiliate site, and they're trying to rank by getting traffic in, by getting no-do search queries and trying to funnel down the traffic to Amazon. So right off the bat, it almost seems like on a very first look, the design of the site looks too plain vanilla. It doesn't look exciting enough as it should be. There's definitely like things missing. Like there's absolutely no formatting, there's no bulleting, there's no bolding of text, there's not much thought given to the subtitles, which are probably the H2 and H3 tags. There's no sort of interlinking going on between pages. And okay, so let's look at things in a little more detail. The homepage looks okay to me in terms of the quantity of content, but I'm not convinced with the quality and the layout issues and the internal linking structures. So again, the quantity of text is fine, but the user experience is lacking for sure on this site. For example, okay, so let's look at what they have here. So it almost looks like they've got two categories here. One is like a review-based keyword, a review-based category. So they're writing reviews, and the other one is like more like advice. So it looks like there are two categories, and these are the posts inside each of the categories. So the slug structure, ideally, like if you look here, this shows. Let's just go to one of the review posts right here. So on first hand, I'd say this is fine in the sense just a slug structure, but definitely not in terms of there's definitely over optimization going on, and this is a big penguin issue right here because they've got a keyword rich partial match domain, almost like exact match for some keywords, and then they're repeating the same keyword like again in the titles. So I'd be really careful when I make my post and actually just put my H1s and my slugs for all my posts, because it's already so rich in the keyword, that the domain name, that you'll need to be really careful. Otherwise, you're going to get hit with the penguin on-page over-optimization penalty, which is pretty severe right now. They're really cracking down on that. They have been for the past 3 years or so, but they've just gotten better at it. So looking at the structure, so let's look at the two categories he's got here. Okay, so we have this category. So I would not put a category like this. I would not put something that said, definitely not. It repeats for sure. Like, so the best, and then alkaline water, and then alkaline water is again here. So it's repeating. So this category by itself, this page is not going to rank, and in fact, it's going to probably get the site's going to be hurt a lot. This is not the right way to do it. If I was doing it, I would put something like this. This is what I would do, and that's what I would call my category, just reviews. And if the other one is advice, I would call the other category just advice, and then I'd put my post under that. And it's okay if you want to structure. He wants to structure it in such a way that if you go into one of these posts, you're putting it at the root, which is fine. But you could also structure it like this, right? Like this one. This right here would work, of course, and then you cut down on the title slugs. In fact, so we come back to that, and I may even consider like changing the domain name if it makes sense and it doesn't land me into any sort of over optimization, because right off the bat, it's really going to hurt you, and you're not going to have enough room to play around with the slugs and play around with the titles, and you won't be able to go aggressive with this kind of domain. But in some cases, it does help if you do it the right way. I mean, if you're building your links the right way and you structure your site in a particular manner and you make sure the silos and the internal linking structure doesn't get you into any sort of penguin penalty, then it's okay if you know what you're doing. But the threshold is low. The threshold to make a mistake is low when you go for an exact match or a partial match domain. It really gives you lesser room to play around with things. Okay, so let's look at one of the internal pages. So this internal page, and again, I will tell you that this is not, yeah, so let's look at the slug and this. The image, again, it's just got one image here. There's no table of contents plugin. The number of words on this page looks less to me. Let's just see how many words he has here. 900 words is fine in some cases, but you got to look at the competition. And I did look at his competition, and the competition has a lot more words on the pages. So you don't have any table of content structure also. It's just like, and it's very plain vanilla. Pros, cons, it's just like somebody's gone out there and just written the content and they've just done a quick cut paste job and linked out to the Amazon pages, the products with the affiliate links. So there's no masking of links also going on over here. So you're going to invite competition if you start ranking the site tomorrow. So I'd advise you to sort of use some sort of Pretty Links Pro, or there are a bunch of other WordPress plugins that will allow you to mask your links. So the competition can't snoop on you when you start ranking, and you're just going to build up competition and invite interest. Okay, so coming back to this page, the on-page factors, just having one image doesn't cut it. And I just want to check if this image is in fact unique or it's just been ripped off from somewhere else. You'll find out. For that, I go to Google and I search by image. Okay. And we have, interesting, other sites showing up. So you have Amazon and all the other sites are showing up. So definitely this image is not unique. And it's only sort of rich media on the page. So Google's going to see that, and Google can recognize images, it can read them. So you need to fix that for sure. You need to, I'm not sure how you do it, but you need to have original images, maybe increase the background and increase the resolution for sure. I know you're trying to show a product image. If you have this product with you, then you take a photograph of the product. There are other methods also. You can go into YouTube and look for this image and sort of freeze the video at the frame shot you want to take, and then take a grab that image and then use that. You have just one image, so I'd say at least have like 4 or 5 images and at least like 1500 words of content, and you definitely need to start embedding some videos as well. So if you can do a video review on the product, that would help you a lot better. You got to put in a lot more effort now on the on-page factors, because Google is looking at on-page a lot more than it did in the past. And it's so if a new site comes up and say you build a new page, it's going to rank you. Google is going to put you you can rank with just content if your content is strong, but the user experience is what demotes you. So if you have good content, which means you have to put more images in this case and a lot more words for each of the pages. I did run a Screaming Frog check. I'll come to that in a second, but so Google will rank you with the content. Initially, it'll let you dance around. You'll experience something called the Google dance. Your rankings will fluctuate. And Google will see what kind of click-through rates you're getting, and then they'll look at the user experience and the bounce backs, because they can track user behavior using Chrome, and they do that. They've got a patent for that. So they're definitely going to track the user experience. And if you terminate the user search intent, in the sense that they go on to Amazon and they don't go back to Google and they start searching for your keyword again, or they click on other links, and you satisfy the user intent, that Google dance like reduces, and you gradually gain your rankings. So you have to satisfy the user experience. And in this case, you're not even capturing, and you don't have any exit pops to capture emails. Neither do you have any sort of real contact us or some lead generation happening in the footer of all your pages. You have it on the contact page, but that's weak. The about page, if I'm not mistaken, was empty and blank. So that's a big problem there. Google is going to see that. Your privacy policy looked okay. I'd also put terms of service in here because Google's looking at that. So your images are definitely not unique, and that goes and that also applies to your homepage image. The first image on your site on your homepage. I did a reverse image lookup, and this has been taken from somewhere else. So Google knows that. So you need to fix that as well. I'd put a sign up opt-in box on the sidebar, so you can actually maybe get some queries, and Google can read that, and they sort of figure you are sort of providing some kind of user termination. What in this niche or in this type of site, I'd put something like opt in now to get your discount, or put up some kind of report that they need to opt into, instead of just taking them directly to Amazon. That also works. I mean, if they click through and go to Amazon, so they are sort of going forward, and they're not going to be jumping back to the SERPs. And if they go forward and they buy the product from Amazon, then not only do you get a commission, but you also satisfy user queries. You reduce your bounce backs, and the search intent is met, which improves your rankings. Okay, so when I looked at Screaming Frog, I got this kind of data, and over here this tells me that the number of words is fine on your pages, but again, we need to work more on the layout and the structure. I'll just talk about that for a bit. So definitely the number of words on the pages is fine, but you need to have proper formatting. And to understand like who you definitely need to understand who you're up against and who your competition is. And in this case, let's look at let's go back to Google, and so here, so firstly, you're up against some pretty, like, you have the big portals ranking there. Here's some of the big sites with tremendous amounts of age and trust flow and domain authority ranking on top. But definitely, I'm not saying like it's you can't break into this niche, but look at the sites that are ranking. You're gonna have a hard time if you want to rank for those keywords. If you want to rank for these keywords, so I definitely go after more long tail keywords initially, and then try and go for the broader ones. But what's interesting is that there is a site here, but it has age, so it's got a couple of years of age, but it's doing really well. It's ranking almost 5,500 keywords, and I'm not sure about this factor. So they're probably using PBNs to rank, and they're blocking majestic data from coming through, which is why it's not showing up. But this site is definitely doing well, and I want to take a look at that site. So again, you have the same site here ranking for 2 pages are ranking for the same keyword, and then we have more general like portals with review pages. Let's look at this site, because I found this to be the #1 competitor. So they're blocking majestic for sure. But look at this site. Look at the way it's structured. It's beautiful. It's done really well. It's got a fantastic user experience. The dwell time on this page is going to be really high. People are going to actually stay on this page, and they've got the table right up front, which is interesting, because they could get onto the rich snippets, this area, which is position 0. I'd like to call it position 0. and that's why they've done this, because the minute they hit the top 5 for that keyword, they're gonna go up, and they're gonna rank at position 0 if they have a strong table and strong content, which they do, which apparently they do. Uh, if you see the way this site has been laid out and compare it to this site right here, you can see the difference. And the way they're linking out to Wikipedia sites and not just Amazon. So they're having outbound links to authority sites and pages that are relevant to the niche, and that helps a lot because Google sees that and Google likes that. And I'm pretty sure they're linking internally to other pages as well. So he's going to, yeah, so right here, so linking to an info page internally, another authority site, not just Wikipedia each time, if you notice. And then we've got another article on alkaline. So they're passing juice down from the home page to this. I'm guessing this is what they want to like focus on ranking, and maybe a few others also. Top 10 benefits. So, and then they have a separate page for that. So they've got it as a single post. So their homepage is a single post. Yeah, so that's good. And it's got about how many pages? Almost 2,000 words. So if you want to beat them, not only do you have to have better design and better content and layout, but you have to have more content. Even though you have 1,000 words, you'll have to overtake them and have 3,000 words. And then they've got here, so they masked the links. So they are saying, like, you can buy it at Amazon, but look at the URL at the bottom. It's a masked URL. They've used a plugin like Pretty Links Pro, affiliate masking link, and I definitely advise you do that as well. I like this floating thing right here. It makes a lot of sense, and again, I'm guessing it's click through. It's inviting the click and terminating the user intent, which is going to get the site to get pushed higher. It's not going to demote it anymore. But if others are not able to terminate the intent, those sites are not going to get. Those sites are going to be demoted a little bit. So while he's going to stick the others who are trying to get above him, that are trying to rank higher than him, they're going to go up. Maybe they'll come near him, but because Google doesn't see the termination, they're going to like lose their rankings again. So the Google dance is not going to solidify by giving them higher rankings, but they're going to dance a bit. Google's going to check the click-through rates, they're going to check the termination, and then they're going to push him back down, saying, "Hey, no, this site doesn't have high quality. The dwell time was low. They couldn't push people onto Amazon and things like that." So, I mean, I know I'm on this site, but I just want to compare it with your site because it'll give us some clues. So yeah. So like I said, look at the category structure here. They've got, if you look at the bottom left, they've got the benefits keyword. They've got a category called solutions. So they're not stuffing, keyword stuffing here. And then they've got info, just information. And they've got product reviews, which just says product reviews. So they've really siloed out the site in the best way that's possible. Okay, so let's look at let's look at their. I know I'm trying to like I want to audit your site, definitely. I want to audit this site, but I need to see what the competition is doing as well. And it's always good to do a side-by-side comparison because that helps you understand what a good site should look like. And not only we're not just critiquing the site, but we're also at the same time measuring it against something that's doing well already. So best countertop water filter review guide. So it definitely has no repeating keywords with the exact match domain or the partial match domain. You can see they've chosen the slugs in a clever manner. There's no there's no repetition of there's no keyword stuffing. Yeah, so look at this one, that the title tag has reviews in it and a guide, but look at the slug. The slug doesn't have reviews. And why does it not have reviews? Because the main domain has reviews, and it's already passing a signal to Google saying, this is an information site. I'm going to be reviewing products. I'm going to be providing information. I'm going to be providing tips. So Google knows that already. You don't need to put in your slug. That's going to land you. If you put it again, if you're going to repeat the same keywords in the slug, it's going to land you up in a penguin penalty. You can put it in the title a bit. Yeah, so they've done that, but it's not in the slug, and that's what's saving them, and that's what's getting them to rank. So just reviewing the things, yeah, so the site is too plain, there's no formatting, there's absolutely no italics. It looks like there's just done a cut and paste job. You've got a content writer to write the content, you come here and you just paste it and just put paragraph and nothing beyond. No internal linking from your page, from your home page to your sub pages, or from your sub pages to other sub pages, or back to your home page. So you're losing out on link juice. You're not passing any link juice down from the pages that are built, getting all their internal links, getting external links coming into the site, which we look at that also. I'm going to do an off-page audit after this. So you're not. So even if you are getting backlinks, where's the juice? The juice is not going to be passed around to your pages. You're not telling Google what your main pages are. You just have these two links on top. That's it. There's no sub-menu structure even. So it's and you're not even linking to those internal posts and pages. So how are you going to pass link juice down from your site to the other pages that you want to rank? It's going to be tough for you to rank in this way. So you're siloing. They call that silo structure. Your siloing is not done perfectly. So you have penguin issues, which with the over optimization, your images are failing in the uniqueness. We did that. I checked a few images that have been taken from other places. Other sites are ranking for those images, so Google definitely does not see your site as being the originator of those images. Your content is unique. That's fine. I checked the uniqueness of your content, and that's unique. And we do that by just taking any sort of text from here. Any text, just take the top text or take any paragraph. And all I did was I did a search in Google for that, within quotes for that text. And because your site showed up, it's on top, your page showed up on top there. So that content belongs to you. So thank goodness. The content is unique. So that's one big plus point. But the content is not formatted properly. There's no rich media in it. The H2s are not proper. The H3s are not proper. There's no table of content at the top of the page, which helps in navigation. You know, the Wikipedia style table of content, and that's helping a lot of sites rank nowadays. You're not doing any sort of internal linking or siloing. Your titles and your subtitles are failing the SEO, the optimization issues. You're not writing your titles properly, and you're not even using the proper slugs. And your H2s and H3s, they seem to be, some of them seem to be okay, but some of them don't. Like something like you just written the side effects. So I'd rather put in something like the side effects of XYZ and link it to of having low alkalinity in the body or things like that, you know. So to talk about that article, you definitely need to put in these, definitely put in the LSI keywords, the latent semantic index keywords in your H2s and H3s, because that Google is looking at that, and that's one of the ways they measure your on page. Okay, so then your about us and your terms of service, the pages were empty. You don't have a terms of service page, so definitely you fail in that. Your site needs a lot more visual appeal. The formatting, the bulleting, inserting more images, having more videos, even having a table like the other site had, like the competing site had. You need to improve that. Your socials are, there's absolutely no point having these socials, because they're empty. I went to these pages, I went to all the social pages, there was not a single tweet, there's no action, and Google is looking at Google needs to see action on your social. They're using social as a signal. I know maybe the topic is not an exciting enough topic, but you need to have more action in the socials, even if minimal. You can't. This is going to hurt you if you're going to put up Facebook pages and YouTube channels, and you're not going to have videos. You're not going to be having any. You're not going to be tweeting about the topic. You're not going to be retweeting other people's content in the same topic. I don't see any reason for having socials. Your social signals are going to be weak, and Google is looking at that. I'm not saying go overboard with them and order like fake social signals, but just have the basics at least. if your niche, this niche is a small niche, it's not like a large niche, so you don't need to have like 1,000 followers and tweeting every day, but maybe twice a month or twice a month. It's going to help you. I believe the search console for this site, the search console was not present, and you definitely need to do that. And the way I got that was that it's site colon and I put the site. So you sort of need to. I think you're not attached a search console account, and I definitely would recommend that because that's going to give you more insights. The amount of insights you get from your search console, they are priceless because that's Google looking at your site. So you definitely need to attach, your search console and go in there and see different things. See what kind of backlinks that Google has discovered for your site. See what kind of rankings Google is showing for your site, and this search console gives you a hell of a lot of information. And of course, your webmaster tools, your Google Analytics as well will give you your bounce rates and your dwell times and the user navigation through your site. So so also your call to action and your conversion is absent. You have no forms, you have no exit pops, you don't have any sort of conversion like an opt-in conversion. You just have that Amazon click-through, which is fine. But I would say put something in the footer which may have the person opt in. And okay, so this was the other site. So you can see they have their affiliate disclosure page. They have the terms of use page. So these two pages you definitely need to have these, like I suggested before. The affiliate disclosure, because this is an affiliate site, so Google is going to sense that, and you don't have that. I didn't notice that before, but looking at it on the competing site, you need to have one. Okay, so coming back to, so I already spoke about the siloing of your site and the way you're over optimization issues by having best repeating in your domain as well as in a slug and an alkaline and alkaline again, and then water machines again, and reviews. I mean, that your category is completely like not structured. It should be something like this. Just have your domain name / reviews, right? And when you're talking about and then your post can come inside that, or it can exist in the root. That doesn't really matter that much. And then your advice page or your info page can be your sitename.com /advice. That's it. Just leave a category slug like that. And if you can't remove the category, you can put, it can by all means be something like that. That by all means. But there are ways to get this category slug out. There are plugins to do that. I'm not sure WordPress can do it natively, but there are plugins to take that slug out itself. And just putting advice. I think you can do that. In WooCommerce it may be difficult, but in just plain vanilla WordPress it's possible. Okay, so now with that done, I'm going to get onto your pretty much analyze your site, and I've told you what kind of issues you have. Your content is the number of words and everything looks okay. You just need to restructure things for sure. You need to add more media. You need to format this in a better way. You need to include some plugins and things like table of content and things like that. Otherwise, it's maybe have a few more pages, and otherwise, from an on-page perspective, you're pretty much. I mean, you're about 20% of the way there because your content is good, but you just not formatted it properly, and neither have you structured your site properly. Neither have you interlinked the pages. So those are the lacking issues, and that's going to take you a lot of work. So you should get an SEO expert to like fix all those things for you, and that itself will do magic to your site. Okay, with that said, let's get on to the off-page audit, which is let's look at the link audit for next, and then we'll look at things like page speed test, which it looks okay over here. It just looks like your site is pretty decent as far as your page speed goes, and it is mobile friendly. And so with that said, let's get on to the link. Okay, so I'm going to use Ahrefs, which is a backlink audit tool, and we're going to just kind of try and look at the, as long as you're not building PBNs or you've not blocked Ahrefs, we can actually spy on your backlink profile and things like that. And I'm guessing you haven't. So you have 400 backlinks coming from 42 domains, which looks okay, but unless like you got too many coming from, many domains are giving you many links. I'd want to like look at this a little more detail. Your link velocity, the referring domains right here. This is what shocked me. So for the past year or so, the number of domains that are giving you your links right here, the number of pages are going up, but the number of domains are staying at 42, which means you're building the same links on the same domains again and again and again and again, which is not going to help you rank. It's not going to work. You get you somewhere, but it's definitely not going to get you beyond a point. So, which is why I guess your rankings are stuck like on page 5 and 6. And no matter how many more links you build on the same sites, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help with your rankings at all. Let's look at. I'm going to look at the kind of. I really want to look at the domains that you're getting your links from, but at the same time, I want to look at your anchor cloud right here. It almost looks like you're using a lot of URL anchors, and then you've got 31% of your links are just from this one keyword. So, which is a no query, like when people want to know about something, and that's what you want your site to rank for information-based queries. So it almost looks like an exact match queries. That looks like an over-optimization issue right there. And that's what Penguin's going to eat you up. If you cross a particular threshold, it's going to automatically detect that you're trying to do SEO, and it's not going to move your site. Yeah. I don't see any generic anchors like click here, visit the website. Neither do I see any anchors with just the word alkaline or just the word water machines, or just, with the left-right keyword technique, which I'll get into later, but which is pretty popular nowadays. This is Find Jenny. Yeah, okay, because that's a user profile sort of link, but then I'd like to see a lot more like that, and I'd like to see a lot more image links also. Maybe there are a few, but so that's what your diversification of your anchors is not natural, and that's going to hurt your rankings. And I'm not sure what kind of so your link velocity also looks like it's just like picking up suddenly. You just like gone ahead and just like built some spammy links. I'm guessing the spam links will let's look at your backlinks, and I want to look at the domains also. So this is all links. So yeah, so these are definitely these are all Web 2.0 sites which are open for anyone to post links on. They're very generic sites. They're not even specific to your industry or to your niche. And that's relevancy. That's called relevancy. And Google's looking at that. So even though you create a relevant blog post or a Web 2.0 account on a site, and you put your keyword in there, Google knows that this site, Blogspot, is an open site. Anyone can go there and just get a link and build it. So they're not going to give you much. They're not going to give you much weightage for that. I'm sorry about the work that's going on in the background, but hopefully it doesn't disrupt your train of thought here. Okay, so I've looked at all these. These are all they're all Web 2.0 sites, and I would build a few of them by all means. Like do a few, like just in your niche, maybe do about 5 or 6, but you've gone overboard with it, and you're not doing any sort of outreach, and you're not getting links on specific sites on relevant sites. They could be private blog networks, they could be actual real sites, but you need to get those relevant links, and you're lacking that, and that's not helping you, and it's not going to get you to rank. Just building Web 2.0, there's some of these that are blog comments also, many of them. I'm guessing those are the ones with your name, Jenny, or these are blog comments. I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this looks like a blog comment link. Here, comment systems. It says it right here. And here's the CMS, which tells you that these are all Web 2.0 sites, and so definitely. And then you're losing links also, right? So when you post a blog comment, and the blog comment gets removed after it gets spidered by Google, the Google bot comes back in say 10 days, and your comment link is gone because it was spam, and the moderator took the link off. Google's going to see that as a link drop, and it's going to flag you for that. And you get too many link drops, it's going to know you're doing, hey, there's something fishy going on here. And so that's another big ranking signal. You got to be careful of that. Okay, so your anchors were not natural looking enough. The backlink profile looks like you've got too many links coming from, these are all Web 2.0 sites, and they're not even like PBNs. Maybe you bought some PBN links, I don't know, but I'm guessing if you did, then they are blocking Ahrefs or not. That's an advanced topic and an explanation. Don't want to get into that right now, but looks like you've got a lot of comment links and just the same links repeating from the same site. It's not going to help you rank. It's not going to pass much link juice. And that's the reason why you're getting at almost zero search engine traffic. You're stuck on page. If you go back to your backlink profile, let's see the organic keywords, the keywords that you're actually ranking for. I like Ahrefs a lot because it gives you a lot of information, but I do use it with Majestic also and SEMrush. But for this video, we're just going to use Ahrefs. So coming back, so here you're ranking for these keywords, and here's your position. Yeah, you're on page 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and just looks like you're just stuck there because it's not, you're not going to budge with the kind of links you're building. You're not going to budge. So you need to fix your on-page SEO, get a solid on-page SEO, and then start doing some more relevant links because you've got a lot of Web 2.0, and then use diversified anchors as well. Okay, so with that said, that concludes my off-page audit, and I'll see you in the next video. So let's do a quick competition audit for the keywords you want to rank for. So I'm taking the first one, and as you can see, there are some of these. These are the ads, you can ignore that. But we've got these portals ranking for this information query. And like that's a 19-year-old site with tons of authority and trust, and a ton of links. So they're going to rank really easily when they throw out this page that they want to rank for. Then they've got Huffington Post, and we've got this site which has got 9 years old site, ranking for 8,000 keywords already. Then you've got this site, which again is a 16-year-old site, but you have this site, which is a 2-year-old site, but it's highly niche specific. So it's exactly, I'm guessing, exactly what we're trying to do. But they're only 2 years old, but the content is really solid, and I'm guessing the links are also pretty decent. So, but they've got amazing content, and I'm pretty sure that they're ranking high based on primarily they're ranking where they are based on really solid content and internal linking and the way they structured their site and designed it and interlink the pages, set up the silos. And then you've got this other site which is 12 years old, and then you've got, okay, so you do have a site which is 2 years old again, but it ranking for 1300 keywords. So this would be one I would also look at. These are old established sites again that are just throwing up pages and ranking for those keywords because Google has seen the trust already. So yeah, so there are gaps on page one for that keyword, but um, there are opportunities as well because there are some sites which are a couple of years old that have just popped in, and we'll definitely let's look at the backlink profile. So we're back in Ahrefs, and this time with the competitor's site, and we've got a 166 backlink from 47 site, which looks fine, but they're ranking for 7,000 keywords, and I guess they're doing really well over here. We look at that. But look at this, the number of referring domains is going up steadily, and the backlinks are also going up, but at the same time, so are these. So it's not just the same sites that keep building links from. And their anchor ratio, the anchors cloud looks pretty good to me. It's diversified. It's got the natural links. It could diversify a lot more, but all in all, it looks they have stuffed it a little bit, but I think it's pretty much, I'd say, about, it's not the best, but it's not going to trigger any sort of penalty as far as I can see. So they do have they've got the diversification and the natural links, and I'd say not. I mean, what they could tone down in was like when there's an anchor phrase with so many keywords in it, I'd not try and have it in more than one or two links, because the chances of having a large number of keywords on the same anchor naturally is very low. So the probability is low. So the more keywords you have in the anchor link, try not to repeat it that often. So if I were building the links, I'd do something like best alkaline, and just one with water machine reviews, then one with alkaline guide, and try and mix and match the keywords they were trying to rank for, and then I'd have maybe one with the entire anchor phrase. Okay, so let's look at their actual backlinks now. Okay, so it looks like they've got a fair amount of links coming from reference. So like sites which have Q&A sites, looks like there's Ask, there's Reference, there's similar web. I wouldn't really count that. Looks like PBN, another blog, a news site, maybe a PBN link. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if they're ranking with PBN links and they've like blocked the Ahrefs bot so the data doesn't show up over here. Let's look at one link per domain to actually catch what the domains are. Okay, so I want to look at this one. Let's copy this one. So this is SA Water Filter. So this looks like a relevant site. It's a highly relevant site, and it's pushing a link, a homepage link, to their site. It almost looks like this is a PBN site, but it looks like a repurposed site. So someone bought the site as an expired domain, repurposed the content, and they've given the links to, and they've dropped the link to them. So it looks like another info site with content, and they just dropped the link. So this definitely looks like a private blog network site, which has been purchased from an expired domain or an auction domain. But I like the fact that they're trying to make it look real. So Google looks at looks at the site like a relevant site with real content on it in the same niche. And when they so they've got a link from the site. I'm not sure whether they own the site or they purchased a link from somebody else, but it's definitely a relevant link. So that's going to give them a lot of topical relevancy, which is going to help them rank a lot more, which is something I would say the site you're auditing needs more of. Again, let's look at this one right here. Let's look at this page.